Welcome to the Bendito Podcast, where we're calling a spade. Great to be here with you guys today. Unfortunately, I have bad news. With displeasure, unfortunately, Caitlin Clark is ruled out for Sunday's game. But I have good news. With my utmost pleasure, with a smile on my face, I am also being ruled out for Sunday's game. That's right, no Clark, no Spark. Caitlin Clark comes out and lets us all know she is out for this Sunday's matchup against the Las Vegas Aces, an 8 p.m. matchup on ESPN, and her target return date is one of the two games of the doubleheader coming up this week. Game 1 on Wednesday against the Sparks. Game 2 on Thursday against the Phoenix Mercury. Now, logically, you would think, she plays the Sparks game, maybe misses the Mercury game, but no. How else is Stephanie White going to allow Caitlin Clark to get beat up if she misses the Mercury game? Caitlin Clark has to play the Mercury game because who on the Sparks is going to beat up Caitlin Clark? You know what I mean? Who on the Sparks is going to order the code red that Stephanie White has put in? Nobody. So she's got to she's going to miss the Sparks. She's going to play against the Mercury so she can get beat up and assaulted one more time by Alyssa Thomas, by DeWanna Bonner, by Natasha Mack. You guys get the point. By Kai Copper. You guys get the point. But Caitlin Clark also today comes out and gives us a statement about the hate. What she doesn't do, she doesn't go into a full diatribe defending Alyssa Thomas and getting on her knees and kissing Alyssa Thomas's behind like her head coach did. What she doesn't do is say this league is about inclusivity. This league is about propping up the marginalized. This league, this league is a melting pot of weird. She doesn't do that. She gives a statement that she's given numerous times, actually. She said it rookie season. I guess she maybe said at some point last year. But here we are again with people demanding an apology from Cece, demanding you need to speak up. And she speaks up and gives a statement. Let's get right into it, shall we? Like the video, hype the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below and subscribe to the channel. That would mean so much to me. Let's start right over here. Caitlin Clark, back. Confirms she will be out for Sunday, but is returning to practice today.
Feeling a lot better, excited to get back into practice today, and then feeling really positive about getting back into one of the games at the back-to-back. Obviously, difficult coming back in a back-to-back, so we'll have to be cautious of that, but I feel a lot better, and like I said, excited to get back into practice, and this week has been very helpful for my overall health, so other than that, if you guys have any questions, I know I kind of just ranted for a while, but feeling a lot better, excited to get back into practice today, and then feeling really positive about getting back into one of the games at the back-to-back. Obviously,
getting back into one of the games of the back-to-back. Which game? It's the Sparks on Wednesday, and it's the Mercury on Thursday. Now, I said this earlier. How is Caitlin Clark going to get beat up if she doesn't play against the Mercury, right? How is Caitlin Clark going to get taken out so Stephanie White can run her offense if she's not going up against the Mercury? You know what I mean? Now, yes, I'm joking, but you know what they say. All jokes have a smidge of truth attached to it, right? Because logically, I would say, okay, the Los Angeles Sparks, they don't have Kelsey Plum. Well, we'll go head-to-head against the Los Angeles Sparks. It's more of a finesse game with them. She won't get brutalized and beat up as much against the Los Angeles Sparks. It won't be as physical against the Sparks as it would be against the Mercury. Yeah, let's put her up against the Sparks, and she'll rest the second day of the back-to-back. But we know one thing about this Indiana Fever organization. That thing in between their ears called the brain, they don't really use it. And when they do use it, they don't use it well. Oops. Moving on. Caitlin Clark also named the Eastern Conference Player of the Month by the WNBA. Now, this actually surprises me. Not that she doesn't deserve it, but that they actually gave it to her. You know what I mean? Not that she doesn't deserve it, because I know she does. But after all this hoopla, after all this hoopla, if you get it, if you get that reference, you get that. What a load of hoopla. Her winning the Eastern Conference Player of the Month, I'm surprised the WNBA gave it to her with all of this stuff going on. Averaging 21.9 points per game, 45.6% from the field, 8.2 assists, and 4 rebounds per game. Historical numbers. Historical numbers. Historical numbers. So shout out to Caitlin Clark for winning Eastern Conference Player of the Month. Now this is Rose Gold. Her last name's harder to pronounce than Shanae's. This is Rose Gold talking about Caitlin Clark. Should she publicly address the online hate? Let's take a look.
Do I think Caitlin should say something? I don't think that she has the responsibility to. I think it's still a lot. It's unfair to put that on a player, but I have a lot less grace for it than I did in 2024, where I was like, hey, she just got here. There's so many people using her to, further agendas. She's a kid, blah, blah, blah. This is now 3 years into her career. And if she's silent, it's her decision to do so. And it will be read as such. I don't think she has to, but the choice to be silent is also an action. And that will be judged. And for me, this is the opinion of Roz, I think it would be cool to hear from Kayla. I think she's a good person. I'm sure she's not at all, hoping these types of things happen to her fellow colleagues of the WNBA. I think it'd be cool if she was like, yo, don't do this.
And this post actually gets community noting that she's already done this before. But of course, Caitlin Clark, she did speak up. That's Rose Gold saying this in 2024, by the way. Literally 2 years ago, she just repeats herself. Again, folks, we're replaying 2024, but this is also just a continuation of 2024. They didn't have a chance to get all these takes off last year because she wasn't playing, so they got to redo it all this year. This is Caitlin Clark's statement right here. I did think it was a flagrant foul. Our reffing just needs to be better. The league has to do better protecting our players. The harassment, the hate, none of it is okay. She goes on. She talks about people using her name for clicks. Let me pull that up for you real quick. It's a 5-minute statement. I don't want to play the entire 5-minute statement for you guys. She goes on, she says, people are using my name for clicks in ways that are inappropriate. It seems everyone wants clicks. We've done so much to help the game grow in the course of the last 3 years, and we keep kicking ourselves when we're down. She also talks about how this play happened last Wednesday, and we're still talking about it, and it's a disservice to the league. Well, Caitlin Clark, nobody else in the league is really worth talking about. I know you don't want to admit it, but nobody else in the league is really worth talking about. She talked about the organization having her back, and the coaching staff has her back. They don't have her back. I don't know why she continues to think that they do. But shout out to Bane. Maybe she actually believes it. Maybe she actually believes that they have her back. Because nobody asked if the coaching staff has her back. She just kind of has been coming out and saying the coaching staff has her back, trying to prove to us that they have her back, that the organization has her back. Just come out and try to prove to us that they have her back. Nobody asks directly, hey, do you think the coaching staff has her? No, she just comes out and says it, which is interesting. The harassment, the hate, none of that is okay. Things that we've heard her say during the rookie year, I believe, towards the end of the season during the rookie year, her end of the season press conference, I believe it was, where she said a lot of the same things that she said now. Condemning the hate, a very run-of-the-mill response, but didn't do the Stephanie White lengths of virtue signaling and being divisive and calling her fans racist. Interesting, very, very interesting. What I will do, if you guys want to still hang out and watch this, I'll play this at the end. We'll watch this at the end. And let me know your thoughts about what she says in the comment section below. See you next time, and as always, take it easy.
Probably start. I'm sure you guys have a lot of questions, and obviously I haven't been available for like a week or so. So, first of all, I know what you guys are going to ask, and I did think it was a flagrant foul. And our reffing just needs to be better. And it's tough. Obviously, the refs are in a really difficult spot. It's one of the hardest jobs in the world, in my opinion, is to make calls. All you do is get yelled at the whole time by everybody. You're never winning. So I think for us, like, as the league's just got to do better protecting our players. In that regard, I don't really think that it was up for debate. Obviously, it wasn't called in real time. You go back and watch the clip, I think it's pretty straightforward. It's kind of been a discussion for like 3 years now, and I think we really need to do a better job protecting the people in this league. And, obviously I've been involved in a few of those plays, but there's been plenty others across the league that, haven't got called, go back and post-game or whatever it is. Teams commit clips, nothing really changes. So I think overall the league just has to do better, and we have to invest in those areas. The technology can get better. We can treat the referees a little bit better, pay them like they're full-time employees. I think things like that. And, I think a lot has obviously come after that. And as I've stood up here and said before, like the harassment, the hate, none of that is okay. That goes for the opposing team we play. That goes for my teammates. That goes for my coaches. There should never be a question of character. Like, I've always stood up here and said that, and that's truly what I believe. That's how I was raised. So, none of that is okay, and I don't want anybody to ever experience that. And, I think it can be really frustrating to me at times, and I think it's difficult. I think a lot of people sometimes think I'm a robot. I'm not a robot. I have emotions. I have feelings, and it can be really difficult to go through a lot of that. And, I'm 24 years old trying to navigate a lot, and I think at times I've been in this world for 4 years now, and you would never change any of it. But there are times that it is hard, and there are times that, it probably affects me a little bit more than I do put on. And, I would never change any of that for the world. But I think it's important that people do remember that part of it too. So, at the same time, it's really interesting to me because, even I turned the TV on Sunday, and that game was on Wednesday, and that's all people are still talking about. And I feel like that's just a real disservice to our league. And I get it. You talk about it. You talk about whether it's flagrant. You talk about whatever it is. But to continue to beat down, and then for the narrative to be taken other places that is really just that's just really not acceptable, I think it's hard to see, and it's a disservice to my team, but it's also a disservice to the other teams in this league and other players in this league. There's so much amazing talent, and there's so many amazing players that are playing at an incredibly high rate. And I remember, I think it was Sunday or Saturday, whatever day that was. I remember watching them discuss it on TV, and I didn't know they were going to discuss it. I was just watching the other games because I try to watch as much as I can, and I honestly felt bad for the players that were playing in the games those days. And also I felt bad for my teammates. They played on Friday, and they dominated, and they played really well, and nobody wanted to talk about that. They were just worried about everything else. So, and there had been, I think 10 plus other games that had already happened to that point. So, I think it's all of our jobs to help refocus the narratives a lot of the times, and we can do better at that. And I think it'll help our game grow a lot more. And that goes for obviously the fever and whatever. But at the same time, you guys are here in this arena every time we play. And the amount of people that are passionate and love the game and respect the other team, and the young girls and the young boys that show up, we can't lose sight of that. And that's whether we're here at home and whether we're on the road. And, there's a lot of really, really great people that, love this league and love our organization. And, I'm thankful to be here in an organization that has my back and will always stand up for me. And, I think we can't ever lose sight of that. The joy and the fire and the fun, that's why you play this game. And I think it kind of goes back to a little bit of my frustration. I remember seeing a headline and I don't remember who wrote this, and I try to stay away from social media as much as I can, but sometimes it can be hard. I need to be aware of certain things, and obviously my team makes me aware of certain things. And it was the headline read this season has been everything but fun, and it's just full of frustration for Clark and the Fever. And I'm no one ever asked me that. Nobody ever asked me that. That's wrong. Discuss my play. Discuss if I played bad. Discuss if I played good. Discuss our play. And at times I understand there's other things that need to be talked about. Great, whatever. But let's continue to move on, and things like that. And but I think just focusing on the joy and the amazing parts of this game, like I said, I think it's sometimes a disservice to not only our team but to everybody else. And let's get back to a lot more smiling and positivity. I think our world could use a lot of that. And then moving on, I know everybody's going to ask about my health. I will be out Sunday, but I'm feeling a lot better, excited to get back into practice today, and then feeling really, really positive about getting back into one of the games at the back-to-back. Obviously, difficult coming back in a back-to-back, so we'll have to be cautious of that, but I feel a lot better, and like I said, excited to get back into practice, and this week has been very helpful for my overall health. So other than that, if you guys have any questions, I know I kind of just ranted for a while, but